Yo, what's going on? Mike from Mike Talk Sports. The big news in the NFL world today is that the Arizona Cardinals cut DeAndre Hopkins, their star receiver, and now this leaves a significant hole in their receiver room. In today's video, I'm going to be analyzing Rondale Moore to see if Rondale Moore could potentially replace some of that value that DeAndre Hopkins brought to the table. Make no mistake about it, Rondale Moore is going to be on a very short leash this year. Rondale Moore 2 years ago was the 49th pick in the second round of the NFL draft, and this was a classic Cliff Kingsbury, Steve Keim selection, drafting an undersized 5'8", small, air raid-esque offense receiver in the second round, somewhat reaching on Rondale Moore, even though Rondale Moore was a very explosive, intriguing prospect coming out of Purdue. Coming out of Purdue, he had a phenomenal sophomore season, but his entire career at Purdue was plagued with injuries, and this injury bug really has been the story of his career so far. Let me read you off some of his injuries in just 2 years in the NFL. 2 major hamstring injuries, a concussion, a neck strain, an ankle strain, and a groin strain. Rondale Moore, quite simply, is very small out there, so that is what kind of explains those concussion issues that he's had, that neck strain that he's had. But more importantly than his size is his explosiveness and his quick twitch muscle fibers. That's really, in my opinion, the reason why he's consistently injured. He is so explosive, he's so fast, he's so dynamic and agile and shifty, to the point where I feel as though his lower body just gives out sometimes in the football game when he's making these really sharp cuts, and that really is the name of his game. Is Rondale Moore this crazy possession receiver? Of course he's not. He's 5'8". He's a good route runner. He gets open pretty consistently, but the entire appeal of Rondale Moore's game and why Rondale Moore would even be on the field for the Arizona Cardinals at all is that run after the catch ability. It's honestly very good. It's bordering elite, dare I say. It's bordering elite. Let me tell you guys why. He's somewhat Saquon Barkley light in terms of his run after the catch ability. Not only is he extremely agile, not only is he extremely quick and twitchy with the cuts he makes, he's very hard to get his hands on you. He's somebody who could score a touchdown playing two-hand touch out there, not even having his opponent be able to touch him. But when he does get touched by his opponents, he's not that stereotypical 5'8" receiver. He's 180 pounds, but he plays like he's about 210. He consistently breaks tackles, and he's an absolute bull out there. And in my opinion, this is going to play perfectly with what the Arizona Cardinals are going to do this season and really at the beginning of the season, because we are either going to have Colt McCoy in there, David Blau, or Clayton Tune, meaning we are going to have really bad quarterback play. To be completely honest, so with really bad quarterback play, not only are we going to be tapping into that run with James Conner significantly, but more importantly than that, we are going to be tapping into that short passing game, especially with Hollywood Brown, but with Rondale Moore as well. I see a lot of bubble screens and a lot of screens from Rondale Moore, and in my opinion, this year is his number one year. It's his best opportunity to succeed because of that lack of depth in the receiver room, because of the lack of proven talent in the receiver room. Obviously, Rondale Moore is never going to be a guy who consistently lines up on the outside. I think that's going to be Hollywood Brown. That's going to be Zach Pascal as well to start the season. I think at some point, Michael Wilson does take Zach Pascal's job in the outside. But for the most part, it's going to be Greg Dortch and Rondale Moore battling for that slot receiver position. And Rondale Moore's upside is just so significantly higher than Greg Dortch. Greg Dortch gives you a really nice floor. He has a lot of those same traits that Rondale Moore does have, but Rondale Moore is just much better after the catch. He's just so explosive. He's so fast. He has the potential to take a 2-yard bubble screen into a 50-yard gain. We've seen that flashed a little bit in his NFL career. Dating back to college, I think his most notable game was that Purdue game up against Ohio State. He straight up beat Ohio State by himself for the most part in that game, being a real weapon in the kick returning game, in the punt returning game, and again, just get the ball in Rondale Moore's hands. That really was Cliff Kingsbury's idea of drafting him. But now with this new coaching regime, it's really going to have the pressure on Rondale Moore to succeed very early on in the season, So to answer the question of the video, can Rondale Moore succeed in 2023? This question will be answered extremely quickly in the NFL season. My grim, sad prediction for Rondale Moore this season, honestly, I think he's going to look outright phenomenal in the first couple games of the season. I think he's going to be a classic regular pickup in fantasy on the waiver wires as soon as he gets going, right before Kyler Murray is going to come back. I think Rondale Moore probably gets injured. It sucks for me to say that, and I hate predicting a guy to get injured. Rondale Moore, with his body, with how quick twitch he is, I feel as though his hamstrings and his tendons in general just cannot hold up to support that explosive playmaking ability that Rondale Moore does have. One more note before I end the video. I would love to see the Arizona Cardinals use Rondale Moore as a third down running back, as a receiving running back, because that really is not a strength of James Conner, and we have no other running back on our roster I really like. Thanks for listening, guys. Let me know in the comment section below. What are your thoughts on Rondale Moore? Should they use him more as a third down running back and in the short game, or should they tap into his potential in the vertical game? Because I think he's good there as well. Thanks for listening, guys.